Hi boys and girls, today we're going to be drawing a fox. And I've given you a piece of paper that's big enough that you should be able to create two foxes. So I'm going to just fold this in half to show you. One of your foxes, if you want, you can make both of them the same. But I did one where he's awake and I did one where he was asleep. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the one that's awake for starters. So I'm just going to start on this side of the paper. You guys can draw with pencil and trace with Sharpie. I'm just going to do it with a Sharpie to start with so that you can see really well. Oops, that's not my Sharpie. I thought that was. Where did I put? Oh, here it is. Okay. So we're going to start with his head. And for the one that's sitting up, his head is an oval. So I'm going to make a pretty big oval, but I'm going to leave room at the top for his really tall ears. So I'm going to make an oval. And I don't want to make it small. I want to use up as much of my paper as I can. Then I'm going to do a triangle here and a triangle here for his big ears, and then a little triangle inside. Okay. Then for his body, I'm going to make the letter U, so a pretty big U, but I don't want it to go all the way to the bottom because I want to leave room for his feet here, for his paws. And then I'm going to make a smaller U inside that one. That's the white part of his chest. Then I'm going to make a tail. Now you could make your tail here or here. I think on this one I'm going to make it coming out this way. Kind of a curve out and then curve back in like that. And then the tip of their tail is usually white. So I'm going to do a zigzag line to remind myself to leave that white and color this orange. Okay, so white, white. And then on his face, we're going to move on to his face. We're going to put a circle right down here in the middle. That's his nose. Okay, and I'm going to color that in because his nose is black. And then I'm going to do kind of like a rainbow line here. So I'm going to go up and come back down. And I'm going to do the other side the same way, rainbow line. Sorry, that kind of reminds me of the McDonald's arches, right? Then he needs two eyes. And if you want to try to leave a little white dot inside his eye, that'll look like the light reflecting. So I'm going to make a circle, big circle, and then inside it I'm going to make a little circle, and I'm going to not color that little circle in. So I'm going to make a little circle over here too, leaving that little circle white. Okay, if you color it in, it's no big deal, but sometimes. And then the tips of his ears are black, so I'm going to just color in the tip of the ears, a little bit of black up there. Now I've got his head, I've got his body, I've got his tail. He needs feet. The front paws are, I'm going to make two long skinny lines that come down and make a little paw attached. So I'm going kind of like down and attach a paw. That's his front legs. Then his back legs, you really wouldn't see him. The paws would just be sticking out. So I'm going to do kind of like an oval coming out back here where his back feet are, because we can't see his actual legs. Okay. Now let's say I want to try the sleeping fox. I'm going to turn my paper so that I have more space this way, because if he's sleeping, he's going to be laying down and he's going to be stretched out this way. So for this one, you could do an oval, but I'm going to do a half circle and put some little parts of his fur sticking out. You don't have to do that. I'm also going to leave room up here for his ears. So when I do my oval, I want to be about in the middle of my paper. So I'm going to do an oval, or sorry, like a rainbow. Then I'm going to do zigzag, connect it to the other side and do zigzag. So there's my face. Then his ears, same thing, nice big ears. So I'm going to just do kind of a triangular shape coming out. And you could put a small triangle inside like we did before, or if you want to experiment with something else and make him look a little bit more furry, you can do a little zigzag up and down. So go zigzag and then go up to the tip and come back down. Okay, and that makes it look like it's fur kind of sticking out there. Then for his nose, I'm going to put a little round nose up here in the middle, and those same rainbow arched lines like that. But instead of making round eyes, I'm going to do an undercurve to make it look like he's sleeping. I might even put some lashes here, a little bit of lashes. And then for his mouth, you can see it's just undercurve, undercurve, like that. Okay. Now I'm almost done. All I have left is to make this big curve that comes around, little zigzag, and then I'm going to follow his chin and curve it in here so it looks like his tail is wrapped around in front of him, keeping him warm. So I'm going to start here. Actually, I'm going to start about halfway down the ear, because this would be his body would be connected right here. So I'm going to do curve. I'm going to use up as much of my space as I can. Come around, and then a little bit of a zigzag. Not much, actually. I want that to come to a point, I guess, so I don't want a zigzag there. The place I want the zigzag, oh, I got to keep going here. Come back around like this. So this looks like the tail, and his body's behind. And then that last little zigzag is so that we remember to leave the tip of his tail white. Okay? So you should have your sleeping fox now, if you decided to do a sleeping fox. His legs and paws are tucked behind his tail, so we can't see him. Okay? All right. Make sure that you have your name and class code on that, because we're going to cut those out next time. You're either 3A or 3B or 3C. Okay, and then we're going to put those in the table folders or class tub so that we have those for next week. Okay, and we'll move on to our trees and our watercolor sky.